Amazon has the cash. If T-Mobile and Sprint are allowed to combine, they need to get rid of Boost. They've been told that. So is this a perfect solution for everybody?
Vonnie, look, like we wrote a story yesterday saying that Comcast and Charter were also interested. You obviously Reuters had about Amazon. There's Google. There, everybody and their mum is interested in these assets, and it's because of that 6-year wholesale agreement to lease spectrum. And if you believe that everything in the world is turning to the internet and the internet is going to mobile, then owning spectrum and being able to lease spectrum at good rates is really important. The question, though, is would Sprint and T-Mobile really want to sell this to Amazon? Or would they prefer to sell it to someone like a Charter or Comcast? And then on the other hand, would the DOJ think who would be the better competitor? Because from the DOJ's perspective, what they want is for these assets to go to somebody that will create a real, genuine fourth competitor in the market. And cable companies like Charter and Comcast are already in that mobile business.
There are so many questions that this brings up because obviously T-Mobile and Sprint, they want enough of a competitor to satisfy the DOJ, but they don't want to hand the competitor all of their, assets, if you like. But for Amazon, why would it make sense, given that Amazon doesn't yet own spectrum? Would that be the idea, that Amazon would start collecting spectrum and at some point be, a veritable competitor for these?
Yeah, Amazon's business is done through the internet and all of that is going mobile. So to have spectrum is definitely a good decision for them. However, like I said, whether the companies actually want to give that to Amazon is another thing. And if Amazon does want to get into the spectrum business and build up 5G, then that's, that will require a significant investment from them as well. But we know that Amazon has had previously discussions with Dish, which itself owns a lot of spectrum, about potentially partnering on building a network too.
Charlie Organ has lots of spectrum, of course, and he doesn't really know what to do with his either. What would Charter be like? What would a Google be like? And how would they sweeten their offer to make it better than Amazon's?
I think at the end of the day, the DOJ can actually stipulate who they might want to buy these assets. So at the end of the day, it might not be down to Sprint or T-Mobile. It might be the DOJ's decision to make that call. And I think what they will really look at is who is going to be the best fourth competitor. And from where we stand right now, Charter and Comcast and the cable companies are already in that business. They're already, leasing spectrum from other operators, and they're really growing their mobile subs rapidly. As their cable sort of subs pull away, this is the area of growth for them. So you might argue that they might make a better fourth competitor.
Give us the argument for why Boost is such a good asset to have, right? It's a prepaid phone service. You don't necessarily sign up subscribers forever.
Yeah, I think the main attraction with Boost is really that lease, the 6-year lease, that you're getting at wholesale rates and the access to spectrum for 6 years. I mean, that's the attraction to Boost.